Now, you played in a premiership as well. 90,
Both of 91, 90, 91 and 91, 92, back to back.
They were excellent teams.
Yeah, that was,
yeah. What's your memory of the first one?
I can remember telling Chip not to bowl a no ball because there was only one ball to go.
Yeah.
And they was pretty close. I remember Hobbs taking Port Wildsmith out on him. But another game we didn't make a huge amount, but we just backed ourselves in, I think. We just really good fielding team, bowled well, put the pressure on the opposition.
Yep.
And we had a couple of guns that did the job for us all the time. But every now and then, if they didn't make as much, blokes just chipped in.
Yeah.
Greg did a terrific job as captain, coach at that time. We just, even the seconds, going down to the seconds, blokes just did their job.
Yep.
And I think at the end, just wore them down. And the second year, we sort of we felt like we should go again, but we had to work harder, make it happen again. So I think we did the same thing. It was just terrific.
How did you go in those games yourself?
Probably didn't do a lot, I think. The only thing I can probably hang on, I don't think I was out. I didn't go out in any of them in the finals, I think. But no, I didn't have to do a lot. You got Rowan and Ravi doing most of the work.
Yeah.
But we fielded well. Yeah. Everything stayed in front of us. We took our catches.
Yeah.
I think at the end, that probably got the job done, I reckon.
It just reminds me of a story. I was interviewing Ravi 12 months ago, and he told the story to me. I don't think it went to camera, but playing Croydon in one of those 2 years, and they had mouthed off a bit, and he was batting with Rowan at the time. May not have been in Croydon. And they decided they'd go after the bowlers, but before each ball they'd pick out which tree they were going to hit.
I reckon I batted with Ravi one day at Noble Park. I'm not sure whether it was the first one we won or the second. I remember walking out. Ravi was a lot, so I walked out and I marked centre and I, marked it like that. It was like a mohair jumper. The line went up here and walked. So we put on about 35. I made 11. I got dropped 4 times. Every time Ravi had come down, it basically got to the end. He said, "Phil, just hit one, get off strike." So he just carved it at the other end. It was terrible. I couldn't even hit it, but that's how good he was. Yeah, he was that good.
He was.
And the same game, a bloke arrived late, screamed up, parked his car, shut his door, opened up his boot, and I reckon Rowan's just hit a cover drive straight through his front window. Same game.
Same game.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Andrew, 2004 or 2005 thereabouts, you went to North.
Yes.
Recruited by Hobbsy.
Killer was actually coach of North at that stage, and I sort of resisted, or not resisted, but waited a couple of years. I think we just won the second flag. It was about 21. Thought, well, if we're going to have a crack now, it was time. And yeah, me and Wooden Legs went together. Yeah. Johnny would cook us up a fry up before we went to each game. So enjoyed the concept, but didn't really enjoy it. There wasn't a lot of unity at the club. North Melbourne was interesting. I think one day we got to training and the rooms would become a gym overnight. So really second-rate citizens. But was lucky enough, my first game started in the twos and got 100 down at Geelong and got to play some first 11 cricket.
Yeah, played, 5 games?
Played 5 games. Didn't really cover myself with glory. Did play against Lowy at Northcote. Was 2 not out and we got washed out the next week. So I reckon I probably robbed of 100 there. Yeah, so that might have been my career kicking off. But, didn't really enjoy the experience, although I just moved out of home at that stage and me and Heidi may have taken the couch over training a couple of times. I probably didn't give it the crack that I should have, but glad that I went and experienced it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, after that season, you didn't return to Preston. You went to Plenty Valley.
Went to Plenty Valley. My employer or my boss was Greg.
Right.
So after the year, I sort of wasn't sure what I was going to do, and Johnny Maskey, a good mate of mine, was like, "Well, come and play with me." he'd gone to Hague, and then I sort of was talking to Greg about it, and literally the next day I was having a coffee with Darren Callahan, who's still the president of OPs, and I played some junior cricket there as well. And I guess, the influence of your boss as well made the decision to go there, and spent 11 years at Plenty Valley.
137 games?
Yeah, was lucky enough to win 2 more flags.
Gee.
Both of them, we'd lost a couple to get there. Played with some phenomenal players there as well. I regret not coming back, but on the other side of it, I'm glad that I did make the decision I did, because I've got lifelong friends that...
How many games is that all up?
I'm the only person in sub-district to finish on 199 first 11 games. So I have a distinguished club, so whenever they post it on Twitter or whatever it is, I welcome them to the 199 club for a week, congratulate them.
Most blokes get
that arsehole Daryl Teal still got me on the 200 games emailer, so I get all the function emails. So tell him every year to get me off it.
Gee, they couldn't find a game for you?
No. Well, I did hit up Hazy last year and say, geez, I finished one more game. You reckon you could squeeze me in? It couldn't happen. But
could have named you this week if they got
could have named.
Was Gus a member of that club? He was 99, wasn't he?
Gus was, I think he was 99.
Yeah.
So I don't... I think the older I get, the more I go, maybe, but that's all good. But look, I was lucky enough to win a couple of premierships, privileged enough to win a couple of batting and club champions, and a couple of team of the years. Probably as much as I'll talk about myself sober. But sort of managed to forge out a
successful
bit
career.
of success in it. So
Phil, you saw him bat all the time. Tell us, what did you think of his batting?
I would have thought the Plenty Valley, when he was at Plenty Valley, I can't quite remember with the Carpenter, but he used to go down just on the tea break, probably every now and then have a look, and he'd be out. I've no idea, because we'd get there a bit later, but he's probably already nicked in 100. So I think he went on a run for a little while there, 3 or 4 games in a row of hundreds. Probably lit it up, like Adam Dale was there at the time, and as he was playing, they had a really good team. As a bat at that stage, he was probably head and shoulders above anyone at that stage. I think he was only relatively young the first year he got named in the subby side to go away with those blokes. But it was as if it was picked and didn't warrant it. Certainly lit it up. I'm not sure. You know yourself how many runs for the year you would have made. But there was a...
Do you take all the credit for the coaching, developing his skills?
Probably none whatsoever. Didn't have any shots towards cow corner or anything along those sort of lines. Was a bit of a smart ass in that sense. But I was obviously proud to see the job that people can do. And that obviously goes back to juniors and the time at Preston, and then a little bit that when you come back at some stage it just clicks. You just realise you bat long enough, you can get the runs.
I never saw him play, so was he a stroke player or a punishing sort of player? How would you describe
probably
him?
the luxury of being both. Play very straight, but then had the ability to get that over the top straight. And once it obviously got to 30 or 40 odd, then that was on from there, because the eye's in. And that probably goes back to myself, Wacker, and a lot of the guys that played a bit of baseball. Andrew plays baseball as well, so I think when your eye's in, you're in.
Andrew, you obviously saw Phil bat. How would you describe his batting?
He sort of had 2 gears. He had that ability to get off strike, which was frustrating. Well, you could see it was frustrating for the bowlers and the fielders, just having that innate ability to work it. So my memories are more so probably at Epping or Bundy United in the coaching side of things. But then would almost lure him in and then whack it with a baseball shot. So the batting side of it, that's the limited memories I have. But my memories of Phil is the guile with the ball. Just those subtle changes, and you'd look at him and you go, I could whack this bloke. And then there'd be a slower one, a quicker one, the flick of the wrist, the knuckleball, whatever it is. So I guess that the overarching theme on both of it is that a really acute cricket brain.
Yeah.
And IQ, which I think not seeing him obviously before, which is probably what would have got him a lot of opportunities above guys that may well have probably looked better. But
in the end, my fielding probably, I might have got a couple of games because I fielded okay. I remember Dad always said you may as well look like a cricketer.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to make any runs or get any wickets, you may as well be able to field because it might keep you in every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, baseball 3 times a week and cricket, it certainly probably helped.
Back in the 70s, we were blessed with so many baseballers in the club, weren't we?
Yeah.
So it built a reputation for Preston as an outstanding fielding side.
Yeah. Arms, very good arms.
Yeah.
Outfielders were really good.
Yeah.
And plus, Knackers, Tubby Layden and Ringer, there's a lot of connections tied up with it, so it's very close at that stage.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like anymore, but it was really close.
Yeah. Now, you went away from Preston in the 90s?
Yeah, 90, after we won the second one,
Yep.
I went and coached Epping.
Yep.
Albert was there, F.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific. I think a couple of years there, they were in B grade, and then at those days, you only had to play in the grand final, 2 teams went up.
Yep.
But really good, really good. Obviously different from what I was used to, but they were a terrific club, did everything they could.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably just about cooked at that stage, but occupied the crease a bit, did a bit of bowling. And then I think the year after that, I might have gone to Bundy United for a year, and then I might have went back to Preston.
Yeah.
And that was basically it after that. But it was good to see a club at that different level.
Yeah.
But it is certainly different.
Yeah.
Because, obviously guys are working, and that's the case now.
Yeah.
The shift work and all that sort of stuff's changed, where I remember when I first started, it was just cricket.
Yeah.
Work didn't get in the way.
Yes. Yeah. Life's different.
Yeah.
Now, you're coaching at Monty.
yes.
How is that after a break, Andrew, that you've had from the game?
Yeah, so I spent 5 years at Epping.
Yep.
Because I moved up there after we got married. So Rob Fletcher, who got Phil down, would ring me every year for 15 years. Literally, every year I was at. So for 9 years, he'd ring me going, "You ready? You ready? You ready?" And I had my eldest started playing, and I'm sick of the commute. And then, I had 5 years there, which was unbelievable. Then ended up having I got hit at short leg many years ago, and we think that's what caused it. I had a disc blocking my spinal cord, so I'd lost all my cognitive ability and had surgery, and then last year went and had a year with some mates, 5 guys that I've played baseball with for 20 years. We went and had a run around for a bit of fun, and then earlier in the year got a call from Monty asking if I'd be interested in coaching, and it's something that I'd contemplated but never really given it some serious thought, and said, call me back in a couple of weeks, and said, I'm ready to have a crack at it. So pre-season's done. First pre-season in a couple of years, which has been a bit unique because a lot of guys aren't used to it. But round 1's this week, so looking forward to getting stuck into the new season.
Fantastic. You mentioned your health, Andrew. You had major surgery. You've had a bit of surgery too, Phil?
Yeah, a couple of hips replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously looking after the body over the years.
Yeah.
The only ice we ever saw, I think, was in the esky, wasn't
it? Yes.
Yeah, that's what happens, bone on bone, maybe catching at baseball and running around and throwing yourself around.
How is it now?
They're all right. Limp a bit, but it's good.
Yeah.
Hardly notice it.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Would you change anything? No. You'd do everything exactly the same way.
Exactly.
If you knew what the result was going to be, you'd probably still keep doing it.
Yeah. And tell us about Steve. How's he going?
Yeah, just struggling a little bit, unfortunately. 92 now. He's in a nursing home. He can't walk, so unfortunately he's in bed, and then they could pick him up, put him on the chair at night and that sort of stuff. So it's pretty sad. You have a bit of a chat to him. He doesn't sort of remember a lot about what's going on or any of this sort of setup. He goes off in his own little way, but 92, he's had a good life. As long as he's happy and warm and comfortable where he is, that's all we can do.
Wish him well from all of us.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, it's been terrific.
I think he had a sharp cricket brain.
He did
as well. He used to sit on the hill when I was playing, and if you played a bad shot, geez, you know about it. You get the phone. You get the phone would ring on a Monday, and you go, "All right, I'm in for it here." Or if you did well, he'd be. He was a wonderfully well knowledged, or whatever the right word would be, in terms of cricket IQ.
Yeah, just Preston. So many great friends, so many great people. Doesn't matter what age. Just terrific. My biggest honour, I reckon, is the life membership. Once I got that, that was the biggest. You know, you play your games and win premierships. That's what you train for. But I never went there to be a life member. I went to play cricket. So to get that,
huge honour.
Yeah, that's the one thing I reckon that you can pin your hat on. I reckon at the end of the day. Yeah.
And what do you do with yourself these days?
I'm still working. Yeah, hopefully not too much longer, but teaching people to drive the semi-trailers and the V-doubles, which is interesting, as you can imagine. But yeah, still doing that. Auntie and uncle still own it, which is good, which is Armstrong. So staying out of trouble. Yeah.
Do you play any golf or bowls?
Oh, I have played carp, and I have a hit of golf every now and then, but not as much as we'd like to.
Yeah.
But nah, not really. Just Andrew's playing, and the grandkids are footy and all that sort of stuff. So that keeps us busy doing that sort of stuff. Yeah. That's about it for me. Yeah.
And you're in the labour hire game?
I'm in recruitment. So, Hobbs was in the freight forwarding space. So I was in that for quite a few years and recruited in it for the last 6 or 7. Yeah. Challenging but rewarding, because it's one of those roles that you're afforded the balance to be able to coach the kids and be around, which is something that I value. Yes. Because they're growing up very quickly now. They're 15 and 12. Wow. So there's footy and cricket and softball and baseball and basketball. So
you're busy.
Yeah, we're always busy.
Never stops.
It never stops. And how long have you been out here, Phil? You've got a beautiful setup.
Oh, what have we been here now? Shit. It'd be 30, 35.
Wow.
It has changed a bit. Yeah. It's still changing.
Yeah.
So we're getting bathrooms and that done at the moment. But yeah, it's always changing. Always have some idea this come out in the backyard. I think I might do that. But yeah, I think I got to one day when I was playing cricket later on. It was about 37 degrees one day on a Saturday chasing the ball, and it was a bit like, I've got this behind me. I don't think I need to do it anymore. But yeah. Good.
Well, gents, thank you very much for your time and making yourself available to catch up. It's been fantastic. I've just loved listening to the stories. We could keep on talking and chatting because we haven't covered off a lot. But before I do, tell us how good you really were, Phil.
Nah. Good ordinary, I reckon.
Okay. And finally, the nickname.
As in? Joe Bun?
Joe Bun?
Yeah.
It's a
Geelong scoreboard.
Right.
One from an overnight.
Yeah.
And they spelled the name Jobun.
Okay. Yeah.
So when we come back, the next, because to stay up all the time, so when we drove in, obviously, it's like one of them, Nord, Brow, Chip, one of those ones, just, and that was it. It stuck from there. Yeah. But I don't think I even tweaked, but yeah, that's how that started.
Okay. And your nickname?
Bam.
Bam. Where does that come from?
Hitting the ball.
Hitting the ball?
Yeah, so maybe I might answer that question about what time, mate. I probably was a little bit over aggressive at times. I might have got myself out occasionally, but yeah, just it was Bam Bam and just morphed into Bam. Yeah, over the years.
Should start with large.
Fantastic, gents. Thanks very much. I just hope that everything works because we may have to do this again.
That's all. We could bring up Nort's on our trip to the Dogs one night after training, which we'll go into at another
time. Okay.
But Nort's probably a bit nervous about that one.
I also went on the end of season trip at 17 after we won the championships. That's probably a good story for a day.
There's a few that we could mention.
The short version was, because Mum will watch this, we got on to, Phil and I went on the trip and the premise was that Phil would look after me. And I never forget, we got to the minibus, we looked at each other and said, all right, mate, all the best, see you Sunday. and off we went.
You've already interviewed Nort, so Nort can fill in the greyhound trip for us after training. But it was we had no idea where we parked the car. No idea. Except for a lady in a red jacket. So that was about the only way we could get home, I reckon. But yeah, plenty of stories, but such great times.
Really good. Looking forward to the 20-year premiership reunion next this season.
This season.
Later this season.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
looking forward to catching up for a few beers with
Everyone.
a few
All
of
the lads. And,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, terrific.
All right.
Well done, Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.